might think that this is clickbait, but I'm actually so serious. Slow readers need to shut up. You're a silly goose. Maybe you're just bad at it. I am sick to death. I don't think that fast readers should have to justify their lifestyle. People who are reading a ton don't have to try. Their natural reading pace is faster than your best effort. They need to shut up. And you know why they need to shut up? Because it's always them that starts this discourse. Hi, I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is a rant about reading pace discourse that will never, ever seemingly go away. Do I envision a future where this is one thing we could agree on? No, not really. But this bugs me so much. I get so annoyed because you all are so whiny and immature and insecure and oblivious. You have no idea that anyone in the entire world might work differently than you do, and it is so annoying to listen to you go off on a thing about it every 4 to 5 business days, when if you just thought about it for 2 seconds, you could come up with the possibility that people read at different paces. And yeah, we just talk about it constantly. This discourse is always started by slow readers. And all of the time that I've been in the book community, and for people who have been in the community for a lot longer than I have never heard about any of this reading pace discourse being started by a fast reader talking about how slow readers don't absorb what they read because it takes them too long to read it, about how slow readers should dedicate themselves to reading and should be reading more if they want to call themselves real readers, about how slow readers are lying about how much that they're reading. I've never ever heard how slow readers are too dumb or too distracted. I've never heard anyone, no matter how fast they read, I've never heard anyone criticizing slow readers. I don't know if this is a thing that comes from when we were in school and, you know, getting an A+ in reading. I don't know, but it's weird how it is viewed as some sort of virtue to be a fast reader, because I don't think that fast readers, especially adult ones, really view it that way. I think that the discourse is always started about this because it's viewed as punching up, right? Slow readers are talking about fast readers, and that's okay, whereas it would be like a scandal if a fast reader was talking about how annoying it is that slow readers are so slow. Obviously, a big part of that is that we aren't even reading to each other. We have absolutely nothing to do with each other when it comes to reading pace. But I think that people think it's okay to say all this because it's viewed as punching up, but it gets so old and so annoying, and it's just repetitive. It's the constant just, don't you have a life? How do you read that much? Wow, you must not do anything but reading. Wow, well, I actually clean my house. I actually take care of my children. You know, the things that start this discourse every single time are always said so snidely. It's always like, oh my God, how do you guys read so much? Do you not have a full-time job? Oh my God, how do you guys read so much? Do you even have any idea what you're reading? It's the 3rd day of the year. How have you already finished a book? It's always such an insulting tone that is taken, and that's the part that is so frustrating, because you literally don't even know what you're talking about. You don't understand that we don't have to try to do this, and yet you have to find a way to be like, haha, just kidding, it's just a little jokey joke, but it's not. You smack of jealousy and you're annoying as fuck. It genuinely upsets me because I hear it so often, and it always comes from such a place of having no clue how anyone could read that much. And I think a lot of it is malicious, bad intent posters trying to get attention. I do. But you also have people who just weren't aware that people read that much or can read that much, but it's just so frustrating because it happens so frequently. And the shock and disbelief is weird to me. Like, did you think that no one in the entire world read faster than you or read more books than you do? Do you know that people walk faster than you? Do you know that people are more skilled in music or in drawing or at their job than you are? Did you think that you were the best in the world? Like, I'm just confused at how we're so surprised. You understand that. So why do you have such a hard time understanding that you're not the fastest, bestest, most perfect, the reader that should be put up on the pedestal in the world? None of us are. let's be honest, none of us are. Who knows who the best reader in the world is? We will never know, but I can guarantee you we've never heard of them. I just don't get it. You understand that people that are taller with longer legs walk faster than people with shorter legs without trying. You understand that someone can leisurely ride a bicycle and it be faster than someone else running. And again, they don't have to put anywhere near the same level of effort into it. You understand that a car is faster than a human no matter what sort of effort that driver puts into beating the human on foot. Like, you get that. So I don't understand why it's so incredibly difficult for some of you to understand that the people who are reading a ton don't have to try. Their natural reading pace is faster than your best effort. I don't know if that's something you're insecure about. I don't know if you think that that says something about you. I don't know if you think that says something about your intelligence, but it doesn't. It actually has absolutely nothing to do with you. And they're not even trying, and they're not even like upset about it. Half the time they're not even like proud of it, because again, we're adults. We understand that me putting like minimum effort into reading hundreds of books isn't some sort of virtue over someone who is spending a lot of effort to read 10 books in a year. I'm not better than them because I was easily able to accomplish what they had to try to do. Other thing is, I don't think that fast readers should have to justify their lifestyle. I don't think we should have to say, oh yeah, I read a lot, but I don't watch TV. I read a lot, but I have a job that allows me to listen to books. I read a lot, but I have a commute that allows me to listen to books. I read a lot, but a lot of them are short and easily consumable. We shouldn't have to justify jack. We should not have to justify a single solitary thing about how we read hundreds of books a year. And understand too, I am not the reader who reads the most in the book community. I'm not even close. I read more than the average person by a lot. But there are people who read more in a month than I might read in a year. They do exist. Even though I read hundreds of books in a year, they do exist. The limit does not exist. There's so many different people with different reasons and different reading paces on why they might read a ton in any one given year. None of it's my business. None of it's my business. None of it is your business. I am sick to death of having to listen to fast readers talk about how it's okay that I read this much. I put this much time into reading, and because I put so much time into reading, these are the things that I'm not doing with my time. Like, I'm sorry, could you all not figure that out on your own? Genuinely, could you not come up with any possibilities, any variables on why someone might have more time to read than another person? And you know what really frustrates me about this? Is it's not people with the emptiest schedules who read the most. Sometimes it is, sure. Sometimes it is, because you spend all day, every day reading. That's what you do. That's what your life circumstances gave you, for the good or the bad. That's fine. But the idea that only people without kids are fast readers. Only people who don't have a full-time job are the ones that read the most. Only people who are lonely and don't talk to people and are introverts. Those are the only people who can read a ton of books. That's not true. That's not true. I know that this is hard for some of you to grasp. Again, if you are a fast reader, you can read more in 1 hour than someone else can read in 6 hours. That is just the truth. That's the reality of the situation. Some of us don't have to try. We're fast readers. Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it because there is like a significant judgment with it. Because people feel like you being a fast reader makes you better than them, and that's not true. So they have to find a way to knock you down a peg. They have to find a way to change the rules of this made-up competition in their mind of why you're not better than them. Yes, you read more, but they actually absorb what they're reading. Yes, you read more, but they actually have kids. Yes, you read more, but they actually have a job. Yes, you read more, but they have a life. Yes, you read more, but you're only reading shorter books, and they read longer books. Yes, you read more, but they are taking their time. It's stupid. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's dumb. You don't need to knock fast readers down a peg. We never put ourselves up above you in the first place. We never said that we were better than you. We never said that reading 700 books in a year was something important. For most of us, it just happens. It just happened that way, okay? The mental health was not great. We read a little bit more. We had some new genre or series or format that we found, and we were consuming it at a higher rate because it was new and it was exciting and it was fresh to us. There's so many reasons why any one season of life might be extremely high reading, maybe even to your own detriment, or why a season of life might be extremely low reading, again, possibly to your detriment, because you literally don't have a single moment to take care of yourself in your preferred way, which would be reading. There's just so many different factors that it is so ridiculous to act like you need to put people in their place and let them know that while they might be reading more than you're more satisfied with your life than they are. What does it matter if someone else is making different choices? It doesn't. And they can be a full-time worker, a single parent, they can be a caregiver, they can be someone who watches TV, who has other hobbies, who socializes. You just don't know, and you literally don't have to ask. They don't have to give you any justification of why they read so much more than you do. Maybe you're just bad at it. Did you ever think about that? Maybe you're just a bad hobbyist. Like, no one even says that. We don't say that because we don't care. We don't care if you read a little or a lot. Only the slow readers seem to make a big deal about the people who read a lot. If I see one more Welcome to the Side of Book Talk where we actually have full-time jobs and we only read 4 to 5 books a month, great. Did you know that you can make book content without high numbers? You can. Last month I read, I forget, like 50 books, something ridiculous for me. It was still much less than other people read that month, which is fine. I wasn't competing with them, I was competing with myself. This month I've read 3 books. 3, and DNF like 6 as of the time of this filming. So what? I'm exactly the same person as I was last month. My worth as a reader, which is non-existent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's exactly the same. My worth as a booktuber is exactly the same. None of that changes based on how much I happen to read. You either like watching me or you don't. I think that the biggest thing with this is that people do post it in bad faith and we give the original poster attention. And I think if we stop doing that, if we just even wanted to talk about the discourse without mentioning the people who sparked it, I think that we would get a lot less out of this. I think that it would fix it if we did not give them the attention that they are so desperately seeking, because the majority of them are bad faith. I understand that you might ask a question, a natural question based on new to you information, and then that is not some sort of attack or moral failing on your part, right? We should not be jumping on everyone who's like, oh, how can you read that much? That's not necessarily bad faith, right? We should not be like, oh, this again. Have we not explained it to you 50 bajillion times? Because that person might genuinely have never had it explained to them. They might be unaware. But the majority of the posters in the book community, if we just gave one nice little answer and did not quote tweet them, did not stitch them, I think we'd have less. If we gave them no actual attention, I think we'd have a lot less. This is gonna be so long. To me, it really reads as being immature and insecure. You think that people view themselves as better than you because they read more than you do. No adult is going to be valid in their feelings that they are better than you because they read more than you. I am a big believer that being a reader does not make you better. I understand that in a lot of times in history, depending on what country you were in, etc., education was such a privilege and was so out of reach for the majority of people, and being able to read was a huge deal, right? But literally right now in the US, our literacy rates are going down. Should we look down on people who are getting their information from a YouTube video or from a podcast instead of reading it in an article? I genuinely don't think that we should. I don't think that reading for your information makes you better. I love reading. If I could get everyone to love reading the way that I do, I would. I think that reading is valuable and worthwhile and can make a difference in the way that your brain functions. But if someone is dyslexic, if someone has not had reading click for them, if they have had other learning disabilities, if they just have not had access to a teacher who taught it in a way that made sense for their brain, at a point where they didn't feel badly about it, if they were a late reader and because of that they felt a lot of embarrassment about not being able to read well, either in their class or in front of people, or just having struggled with their schoolwork because reading was difficult for them, the aggravation of genuinely being a slow reader and it taking you so long to get through the information, all of those things are common. And for someone who reads really easily and it always has, who picked it up when they were 4, no problem, right? That does not make me better than you. And as a matter of fact, me reading hundreds of books with no effort, basically, and you know, trying to improve your reading as a teen or as an adult, someone who is struggling with it, who has to genuinely work at it, that is so much more impressive than me just doing something I was good at, you know? There's a difference between a talent, which is just your natural ability to do something, and a skill, something that you had to work at to gain fluency in. So honestly, the most impressive readers are not the fastest readers. The most impressive readers are ones who have chosen to work at it for themselves for whatever reason. Being naturally good at something, it's easy to enjoy something that you're good at. It just is. Think about basketball or any subject in school. If math clicks for you, you have more fun with it than if you are just sitting there with a wide-eyed daze of, I don't understand anything that you're saying to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what we're talking about. That is so frustrating. Of course you're not going to do math for fun then. If it clicks for you, no problem. That's not a virtue. That's literally just the way your brain worked. Congratulations. Like, aren't you tired of this discourse? Aren't you tired of bringing it up all the time? Aren't you tired of constantly attacking fast readers and acting like they must be cheating in some way or another? Even the personal pan pizza was only in competition with yourself. You didn't take the pizza away from another kid. If you read the 10 books, you got the pizza. If they read the 10 books, they got the pizza. And then you have some people who are like, anyone who reads that much needs to get a life. Do you not understand that I chose this life? I'm an introvert. I don't like people. People drain me. I don't like socializing. I am always saying no to plans. And also, any plan I make, I hope it falls through. I am preying on your downfall. Like, not significantly, just like if you could have a bad day and if you could just get stuck in traffic that one day, I hope you do. I hope you cancel our plans. I like reading. That is what I do to feed myself. That is what I get energy from. And it's always been my favorite hobby. It's been my favorite hobby for roughly 29 years since I learned to read myself. 33 years if you count when I was read to as a child before I learned to read at age 4. Again, it was easy for me. There's no virtue in that. There's no moral high ground in that. I was good at it. I liked doing it. I did it a lot. I've been reading for hours a day for decades. Of course I'm good at it. You need what, like 30,000, 50,000, something like that, hours in something to have it truly be a skill. I have that in reading by a lot. I have spent much of my life reading. And you know what? If I am a little old lady who cannot get out of the house and sits and reads all day, every day, yay me. Like, if that sounds terrible to you, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go spend time with people, if you want to go do something else, more power to you. I'm happy for you. I don't think I'm better because I read more books than you. But let me read my books and don't act like it's some sort of issue, because it's not. It actually has nothing to do with you at all whatsoever. So, in conclusion, because this is way too long, of course I like reading. I'm good at it. I'm fast at it. It was never a struggle for me. I have an extensive vocabulary from reading, and because of that, I do generally understand everything that I'm reading. It's not leading me to confusion or where I have to stop and look upwards or any, like I know them. I've been reading them again for decades. I have a significantly above average reading life, above average vocabulary. I'm not the best. I guarantee you, everyone who sees this video, none of us are in the top 100 in the world of any category. You cannot be surprised that people are better readers than you. Better readers than you. Faster readers, again, not even equaling better. But you just cannot be surprised that there are people who are better readers than you. How is this shocking? It's silly. It's silly. You're a silly goose. And I'm tired of listening to you. Okay, bye.